local all morning. The Fox 61 Morning News starts now.
Right now at 6, the trial of Alex Jones continues after a day of some emotional testimony in Waterbury.
Tragedy in Waterbury. A young man killed yesterday morning. The efforts to bring his killer to justice next.
And there could be a nurses' strike on the horizon in Windham. We'll tell you where the workers' union and the hospital that employs them stands this morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for being with us here at Fox 61, America Arias.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning. We hope your Wednesday is certainly off to a good start. Weather-wise, the rain has moved on. A little chillier than you might think out there walking outside. I'm not going to say cold, but
are you going to say fall-like?
Fall-like.
You're not complaining about this,
Not
are
at
you?
all.
No, this is perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I walked out and I went, whoo, that feels nice. And deserved after the last 24 hours.
Yes.
A little on the bumpy side. Good to have you along on this Wednesday morning. What a delightful feel waiting for you outside. You're gonna, for those of you stragglers, tough getting out of bed, get out. Just run outside. We'll put some clothes on first. Then go outside. You're going to feel some good stuff. Dew points drop. Humidity is on hold. Fair weather? More like fantastic weather. You better get used to that, Tim and Erica. You're going to hear that a lot this hour. 61 degrees. Our lucky 61 in Hartford, 64 New Haven, 62 in Groton. Your dew points have dropped considerably. They were in the mid-60s yesterday at this time. Now they're in the low to mid-50s, and they're staying low throughout the day. Northwesterly winds kicking in. We have cleared out the skies, dropped the humidity, and everything looking good. A little rain well up in the backcountry of Maine still. By the way, the dew points up in Portland, Bangor, still in the mid-60s. Dry hair hasn't quite gotten down there yet. 59 degrees and sunny skies for the high schoolers this hour. 77, mostly sunny later on. I like this forecast and I like what's coming, and we'll talk about that coming up. Coming up right now, I like what we've got next.
Hey, good morning, Matt. Thanks.
Here's Rachel Piscatelli.
Hey, thanks. Good morning. 6:02 here in the CT-DOT Traffic Center. And in terms of looking at some issues, we've been following this dump truck crash over in Tolland on 84 for the last couple of hours. Improvements with 3 lanes blocked at the moment between exits 69 and 68. Traffic speeds have been reduced to about 25 miles per hour. We'll take a live look outside where you can see those lanes are blocked. Traffic is getting by 1 lane. We'll keep you posted on when that clears. Otherwise, we do have some volume picking up in New Haven along 95 out by Long Wharf. But New Haven to New York, it's 52 minutes. Waterbury to New York on the 84 westbound side, it's a 37-minute drive. We'll have another update for you at 6:30, guys.
Rachel, thanks so much. All right, 6:02 right now, and the trial against conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is set to continue this morning.
Now, keep in mind, a judge has already found Jones liable for defamation after repeatedly calling the Sandy Hook school shooting a hoax on his InfoWars radio show. And now a jury will determine how much money Jones has to pay the families of several victims. We're checking in once again with Fox 61's Angelo Bavaro. He's live right outside Waterbury Superior Court with what we can expect on day 2. Angelo, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. We can expect more emotional testimony today as the jury, or as the lawyer for those Sandy Hook families, continues to build that case that Alex Jones raked in profit at the expense of those Sandy Hook families' grief and suffering. Take a look at this. A very powerful visual as those families walked into the courthouse yesterday, all together in solidarity. Notably, Jones did not show up on day 1. Now, this case involves 15 plaintiffs, including the relatives of 8 of those victims and a former FBI agent. On day 1, we heard opening remarks from their lawyer, as well as the lawyer for Alex Jones, Norm Pattis. We also began to hear from witnesses, including the sister of a teacher killed in the massacre, as well as FBI agent William Aldenberg. He was one of the first law enforcement officers to enter those 2 classrooms where 20 kids died. Both of them getting very emotional as they described what it was like to be accused of being crisis actors by Alex Jones and his followers.
It's one of the worst things that ever happened, if not the worst thing that ever happened here, right? What happened to them? And people want to say this didn't happen? And then they want to get rich off of it? That's the worst part. Like, you know what? You can say whatever you want about me. I don't care. You just say whatever you want. I'm friggin' a big boy. I can take it. Then they want to make profits. They want to make millions and millions of dollars. They want to destroy people's lives.
Again, this trial all about that jury determining how much in damages Jones will have to pay those families of the victims. They have not asked for a specific amount. This trial expected to last about 4 weeks, and Jones is expected to show up sometime next week. And coming up in the next hour, hear more of those opening remarks from both sides. Reporting live in Waterbury this morning, I'm Angelo Bafaro, Fox 61 News.
All right, Angelo, thanks so much. We appreciate that update there. And for folks at home, we want to let you know we're going to have continuing coverage of the defamation trial against Alex Jones throughout the week. You can watch all the court proceedings live. We're going to be streaming them on Fox 61 Plus. That's available on Amazon Fire TV and Roku. Fox 61 Plus, live local, always on. And moving on here, a 26-year-old man shot and killed in a parking lot in broad daylight in Waterbury yesterday.
Yeah, this morning, police still trying to find out who did it. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc joins us now live outside the Waterbury Police Department. Julia, what do we know at this point?
Good morning to you. Yeah, this is one of several shootings happening here in Waterbury within the last few weeks. And we know that the neighbors we spoke with say they're concerned about this recent stream of violence. Now, the call for this shooting came in right around 11 o'clock in the morning yesterday. That is when Waterbury police got a call from Waterbury Hospital where they had reports of a gunshot victim who showed up to the emergency room. Now, the 26-year-old man died, unfortunately, just before they got there. Now, Waterbury police officers were then able to find where he got shot. They say it happened in the parking lot at Colonial Grocer in broad daylight. Now, as we mentioned, neighbors are concerned about this increase in deadly shootings. As of August 31st, police reported 10 homicides, up from 7 compared to this time last year. Now, in just the last few weeks, 2 more homicides have been added to that grand total.
We come here almost every day, the store. I've lived in this neighborhood for about 40 years now, just down the street.
This is just unfortunate, that's all. And I'm sorry to hear what happened, honestly. And I feel bad for the family and all that.
Now, police are not saying if they have identified a suspect or suspects in this case. If you were in that area and you have any information, you are asked to call police. We are live in Waterbury. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
Julia, thank you for that update.
Well, 6:07 right now, and to Bristol, where a boy is now facing charges accused of entering a home and walking into a girl's bedroom early Saturday morning. Now, his identity hasn't been shared because of his age, but we do know that he's facing a charge of home invasion, burglary, risk of injury to a minor, and also disorderly conduct. Police arrested him yesterday. He's set to be arraigned in New Britain Superior Court. And we're following developing news out of West Hartford this morning. Police say one person died suddenly on Prospect Avenue near Beacon Street. This morning, we don't know how that person died. Authorities are only calling their death, quote, untimely. Investigators say this is an isolated incident. There's no threat to the public, but anyone with information should call West Hartford Police.
Right now, nurses at Windsor Hospital said they are planning to strike over current negotiations with hospital leadership going, I wouldn't say nowhere, but not too far. This morning, they're calling for better pay, better insurance, and an end to mandatory overtime. There has been some progress here. Union reps said they've been in talks with the hospital since December, though, but haven't come to an agreement. And the hospital, which is affiliated with Hartford Healthcare, said its latest offer includes no more mandatory overtime. So one of those boxes the employees want has been checked. But the union president said there are still too many other sticking points, like health insurance premiums. So for now, they are planning a 2-day strike for next week.
We believe that the hospital is not bargaining in good faith. We've had over 20 sessions with very little movement on the hospital side.
As for the issue of wages, the hospital says it has offered a couple solutions like market-based adjustments to pay and expanded salary ranges, I should say. The president of Wyndham Hospital, Donna Handley, said in a statement, quote, "We must take all appropriate steps to ensure that our patients will continue to have access to the care they need."
6:10 right now, and this morning the FBI are assisting police in Boston to investigate after a package exploded on Northeastern University's campus. Well, this all happening last night on Leon Street. A staff member at the college was injured in the explosion. And we're told those injuries are considered minor. Police then reported a second suspicious package was found. Several buildings had to be evacuated as a precaution. We're going to stay on top of this story, and we'll get you an update as soon as we get it.